All right. So, guys, let us start with our today's lecture. So, we are going to start our discussion with the syllabus that we are going to cover. So, what all syllabus we are going to cover, what you have to learn, we will explore that slowly and one by one. Every topic we will try to decode that. So, let's begin. Firstly, you're going to start your journey with core Java. Now the question arises, why we should learn core Java and what are we going to learn in core Java? There are two things we are going to understand here. Now what are the two things, guys? One, why we should start our learning journey with core Java, and two, what are we going to learn in that? So let's start with what are we going to learn in core Java, and then why it is necessary to start your full stack course with Java. We will discuss that. So what all things we are going to learn here? If you just have a look at the syllabus copy, I think yesterday I downloaded that somewhere here. I did not download. Okay. So let us download the syllabus copy. Just go to our website and scroll down. So this is where the syllabus copy is. So what are we going to learn? Step 1, we are going to start our journey with what is Java Development Kit, object oriented programming introduction. So a lot of concepts like encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, methods, lot of things like static, non-static, everything. But very importantly, you're going to see one of the section that is present here is to do with data structures. So the collection concept here, which we are going to focus on, is going to be 1 minute. From here. Now from here, the data structures concept is going to be a part of your course. Now why I'm highlighting this is because many students, they keep messaging me. Will you teach us data structures? Is data structures a part of our training? So in Java, collections and collection concept is a part of data structure, in which you will learn list, array list, and various other concepts you're going to explore. People, these students move this side because some interviews going on, they're using Wi-Fi, I think. Some online interviews are going on, students are using Wi-Fi there. Okay. So these are all your collection concept, data structures concept, which you guys are going to learn. Plus with this, you will learn stream API concept. Okay. So like this, everything starting from basics to advanced level, including Java version 21-22, we will cover the concepts. So a lot of changes to data structures they had done in version 21 and 22 of Java, which is a part of our syllabus. I will be covering that. With this now, you will also focus on Java 8 features, which is interview questions. A lot of concepts in Java 8 like stream API, lambdas expression, functional interfaces, all of these things we will have to learn, guaranteed interview question. Okay. Now let's understand here further what are we going to learn. Definitely you will have to go through the syllabus, but why we have to learn Java, let's start our discussion with that, which will give us more clarity and understanding. See, any application that we develop, guys, will be divided into 3 layers, right? How many layers? There are 3 layers it will be divided into. The first part of your application will be called as the front end. What is it called as? Front end. So for example, I'm opening up this particular page. So this is the front end. This has a form. So when you wanted to attend my classes, you entered your details in this form. Yes. Then you got an online meeting ID and password. So this form to be developed in simple, I've used some front end technologies like HTML, okay, HTML. Then we have used here CSS, etc., JavaScript, etc., JavaScript, etc. These are all front end technologies. Using these technologies, if I'm using HTML, it is like you're constructing a house, bricks, everything you're putting, but it is not looking beautiful. So when you want to make your house look beautiful, you will color your house, painting work. So HTML is like building the raw structure and CSS is like beautifying your front end. Now, what are we doing here? I'm developing a simple form, and this form has a name field, it has email field, and it has the mobile field. Now, what should happen? In this form, there is a button. Now, when I click on the button, the data from this form, we will read it to our backend. The data from our front end, we will have to read that data to our backend code. And this backend code is what I'm going to develop using Java. Which means when I enter here the name, I enter here the email ID and the mobile number. All of this data that I entered here, all of this data that I entered here, what will happen, guys, is this data, my backend technology is going to read that. So when I click on the button to read this data in my backend, I should know Java. So using Java, what we will do, we will here write the code using some old legacy technologies like servlet. So what a servlet will do, firstly, to learn servlet, you should know Java programming language. Okay, so if you know Java, then I will write the code using servlet technology. Now what this servlet does in layman terms, this servlet is responsible of reading that data from the form. Who will read this data from the form? Come on, tell me. This data to read from the form, we should know servlets. But in order to do programming in servlets, what you should know? And Java is a backend coding technology. So this backend code, what it does, it interacts with your front end HTML form and extracts the data from it. This is a very old technology. Servlets is a very old technology. In fact, today it is outdated. Most of the companies will not use it. However, you will still have to learn that, because that will give you a good foundation for your further course. Now the data that you are taking it in the backend using servlet, that data further we are going to now use a concept here called as JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So this data from the form servlet will read, and after reading that data, servlet will make use of JDBC concept. So what is JDBC? It's simple. Now this is my database example. Now in this database there is so much of data present, correct? Now here this is my Java code. Okay, let's assume this is my Java code. Now this Java code, forget about what this coding is all about, but this Java code, when I run, this will delete a record in my backend database. So here there is Adam, and that data it is going to delete in the backend. Who is deleting it? Java. So this complete code is done using Java, but this part of the coding is called as JDBC coding. Java is connecting with the database and performing some database operation. After executing this, Adam was there. Is that now deleted? Who deleted this? Our Java code. So what happens here? The servlet takes that data and gives it to our JDBC code, which is again developed using Java, and JDBC code will then communicate with your database. Okay. Now database is a software that stores your application data permanently. Example, our Pankaj Sir Academy website. When you enter the data in the HTML form, this data behind the scene, we are using MySQL database. So all your registration details are permanently saved in that particular database. Okay, in the form of what? Tables. Like see, this is a database. Okay, the table name is registration. Now in this table, I'm storing the data in the form of table. Got it now? So what is the flow we are taking here? Come on, tell me once again. There is an HTML form. When you submit the data, which technology will read that data? Servlet. Now, in order to learn servlet, what is the first thing you should know? Java. Because Java is the core programming language used in servlet programming. After servlet reading that data, it will make use of JDBC. Why we have to learn JDBC? Because that connects with your database and stores data in your database permanently. Again, to learn JDBC, firstly you should know Java. After the data is saved in database, your servlet will now communicate back to the front end telling, look, registration is successful. Okay. Now, until and unless you don't know Java, this backend coding you guys will not be able to perform. That's why we have to learn Java. I have explained that here now. Why our learning journey will start with Java. Now, we are going to learn Java very importantly with debugging, because any programmer, whether is a Java programmer, Python developer, or PHP developer, or a .NET developer, without debugging, you cannot call yourself as a developer. That is what basically today's market states. Which means if you have to call yourself as a developer, you should know debugging. So the complete course that I'm going to teach you, starting from Java to advanced technology, this is going to include debugging. Example, see this here. Now, if I just go here to any one of the program, I'm now going to run this program in slow motion. So when I now run this Java code, which we don't know, but when I run this particular Java code, okay, in the debug mode, the program will stop at line 7. Why it stopped, how it stopped, everything I will tell you. But now just a simple example. I'm just moving to this line and I'm interested to know what is this line returning? What is the value this line is returning? Now if I want to analyze this now, I'm going to use some controls in my debugging, and it says when you're calling this line, it's returning the value what? 100. So debugging is a very powerful thing which will tell you each and every line in Java, what it is doing, how your Java program is running, right? Which is the first line running, which is the next line that is going to run, which is the last line that is going to run, and every line that runs in your program, what is it doing? Don't you think this is important? Yes or no? So this much of analysis, when you have it as a programmer, then only you can understand someone else's code. Otherwise, you will not be able to analyze the code and the project that is developed by someone else. When you join the company, projects would have been developed long back. Existing projects is what you're going to join, which means some fellow has written the code, he left the company, and now you're replacing him. You should be in a position to analyze that fellow's code. This is what is important. Let's continue further. I hope this things, whatever now I mentioned, is this clear for all the students? Your chat box is now enabled. Did you understand till here? Online students, please comment in the chat box. If yes, I will now proceed bit further from here. Okay, now, very good. So now understand, whatever technology I'm using here, servlets and JDBC, it is like our old Maruti 800 car, which is now almost outdated. You don't see people today buying Maruti 800. Now, today people buying car, they get so many features in that. It is so stable, right? So many things are automated in that. Same way, the modern technologies which we are going to learn is Spring Boot, and Spring Boot is going to replace your servlet. Okay, So this will make your understanding simpler. Spring Boot will replace your servlet technology, and whatever JDBC concept that you saw here, I will replace that with Hibernate. I'll replace that with what? Hibernate. Now understand, same development I'm now going to do with Spring Boot and Hibernate. Now what Spring Boot does? So whatever data you are entering in the form, Spring Boot will be capable to read that data. And that data, Spring Boot will further make use of Hibernate concept and it will save that in the database. Understand what Spring Boot is doing? Same thing what Servlet does. Why Hibernate is used? What JDBC does, I will do that using Hibernate. Difference, they are more stable. They are more what? Stable. So in this case now, what's going to happen is this. When I submit the form, Spring Boot can read that data from my front end, and that data, it is going to give it to a Hibernate concept, and Hibernate using that will save that data in database, and now your data is saved permanently. Again, to do programming in Spring Boot and Hibernate, firstly, you guys should know Java. Example, we are doing here coding. This is some other IDE. So if you now notice, whatever coding I'm doing here, like this part of the coding, this is all to do with, okay, Java programming. So this is my Hibernate coding, I'm doing it. This is all purely Java. Which means if you don't know Java, you cannot do programming in Spring Boot and Hibernate. Spring Boot and Hibernate programming to do in future classes. Firstly, your foundation in Java should be strong. And plus again debugging. Right? It's a simple thing. Now I'm here. I can now run this program in debug in another IDE. Okay. So I'm just going to stop my program here and let me run this in the debug mode. Now what is the advantage will happen? You see, let me stop this breakpoint here. Let me run another class in debug mode. Again, what will happen? How the data is supplied to my backend code, how my backend code is running line by line, I can only analyze that with debug. For example, I click on send. See, application should come and stop at this line. It is still starting, but in slow motion, I can analyze that. So complete learning of yours without debugging today, you cannot do that as expectations are high. So if I now click on send, observe application stopped here. Now when I just take the cursor here, what it says, it has got some data. Where this data is coming from? This data is coming from this tool. Some tool is here. From this tool, I am supplying that data. So this data, when I click on send, from this tool, the data is coming to backend. The data, is it going to backend properly? Place the cursor and see. I can see that. Correct? Then I can analyze what is this particular method doing. So if I now just select and if I evaluate an expression, it says it crashes. See, there is some crash. Okay, so purposefully we are showing that one, some data integrity violation. There is a problem now. So like this, debugging skills are very important. You will not understand this now. I'm just telling you it is required. To learn debugging, we have to start with very basic stuff. Slowly, spoon feeding lectures will be there. Okay, did you understand this part? Everyone, please tell me. Did you all get this part? Why Spring Boot? Why Hibernate? All of these things. So now, if you go back to our syllabus copy, firstly, you're going to learn core Java up to version 22. Data structures concept, yes. Java 8 features, yes. And there's a concept of multi-threading, which we should be learning. Like this, the Java syllabus once covered, then you learn servlets, JSPs, JDBC, SQL to interact with the database, and one mini project will be done. So during this project work as well, as in when we code, we will understand the flow of the code, the flow of the program step by step, line by line, using debugging. Is this clear? Okay, let's proceed further now. After that, you're going to start with advanced Java, where I just gave you an introduction what Spring Boot does. Spring Boot is capable of reading the data from the front end, and it can also send a response back to front end. Simple terms, layman terms. If anybody is asking me what is Spring Boot doing, so Spring Boot is capable of reading the data from the front end, and Spring Boot will write the data back to front end. Now, if you want to do that, I have to learn Spring Boot. This is the layman terms understanding. Fine. Okay. Now, let's proceed further. The next thing, why Hibernate is required? Because this is the one that will help you communicate with the database, and using Hibernate, you can save data, delete data, update data, and read data from the database. So this is a database software. You can store, delete, update, all that you can do it using Hibernate. Now let's move to the next point. What is Spring Security concept and why is it required? You will not have 100% understanding right now, but an overview of the syllabus you will start getting it. Now, why Spring Security is required? Okay, why Spring Security is required? Now let's say I'm developing one login page. Okay, now this login page, I'll enter the username and the password. So developing this login page, if you want to do it in Spring Boot, we require a concept of Spring Security. Without Spring Security concept, you guys will not be able to implement authentication. Authentication means username and password that is entered, is it a valid username and password or not? That checking off the usernames and password and developing a login feature in your project will require a concept of authentication. And then we have here another concept called as authorization. Example, this particular application is to do with, okay, a bank. Now the banking application has so many features. For example, I can do a NEFT. Okay, I can do what? A NEFT. Correct? So next thing, I can also do RTGS, money transfers basically. I can go to the bank and I can do a RTGS to someone's account and transfer the money. Okay, so RTGS, or I can check the balance. I can create fixed deposits. I can go ahead and also apply for checkbooks. I can apply for what? Checkbooks. Now understand, there are multiple users who are going to log in here. Now the first user who logs in, here, let's assume this user happens to be a customer who has an application in your bank account, is a customer who has an account, sorry, he has an account. Some issue is there, somebody has connected for the interview purpose, that projector will not work. Can you focus the side? So there is a customer who holds a bank account. Now when this customer logs in, what he can do? He can do an RTGS only for his own account. He can check his own balance. He can create an FD as well today using mobile phone app, and he can apply for checkbooks. But let's say a bank manager logs in. Bank manager will log in to the same login page. Now the difference is, when a bank manager will log in, the bank manager can see the FDs that is opened up of all his customers. Correct? Let's say he has 100 customers in that bank. All 100 customers FD he can see. Now what they do is, looking at the fixed deposit, whoever has got more fixed deposits, they will start calling them. Sir, are you looking for some investments plan? Sir, we are giving you a free credit card. Marketing will start. Correct? But what is the difference that you see here? What is the difference that you see here? A customer, when he logs in, he can see only his FD. But when a bank manager can logs in, he can see everybody is FD. This feature is called as authorization. Who can see what features of application? Who can access which features? Who cannot access what features? This controlling mechanism to be put on your login page, we require authorization concept, which is given by Spring Security. If a bank manager logs in, he can apply for checkbooks for any person. Yes, we will discuss about cloud concepts. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Yes, that's all part of our training, Sunil. Hold on. Step by step, we will understand this. Is this clear? The next thing is, okay, the bank manager can check balance of any customer. And also bank manager can do RTGS. Let's say I want to do an RTGS, just fill the form and give. They have an access to do RTGS from any customer's account to any other bank account. So this feature is called as authorization. When I log in, what features I can access as a customer, and when you log in as a bank manager, what features you can access. So tell me, should we learn Spring Security or not? Now you check. Okay, we usually in the academies just ask, will you teach us Spring Boot and Hibernate? We never ask these questions, and this all part will be skipped, which means you don't even know how to implement a login feature. You don't even know how to do authorization, and you've ended up completing your development course. You're telling I'm a developer and you don't even know how to build a login page. Okay, so let's continue further. Now, what is the next thing we are going to see here? Come on, understand here. Okay, Spring Boot, Hibernate, Spring Security. I'll not talk about JWT token now. Okay, we will discuss that during our practical discussions in the class. But now we'll look at what is API development. Yes, anyone, can you please tell me what is API development? What do you mean by API development and why this is required? Let's understand this here now. Now, when I go to this website, MMT, Make My Trip, do you see here? This Make My Trip basically has a flight section, and I'm going to search for the flights. The flight that I'm going to search now is from Bengaluru to Mumbai. I think today is 16th Jan. I'm going to search for 17th Jan, one traveler, and that's going to be one way. And when I search, I'm not getting one flight details. If you notice, all the airlines flights I can see here: Akasha Air, Indigo, Air India, Akasha Air, SpiceJet, correct? All the operating airlines flight details are displayed in single website. Sir, how is this happening? So here, this Make My Trip website works like a travel agent. We can call that as an online travel agent. What a travel agent does? Earlier, to make my trip, what a travel agent used to do? They used to take the tie-ups with the airlines, cabs, trains, things like that, and then they would sell the tickets to the customers. The same thing Make My Trip is doing it, but this is online. Okay, now if you just go to Akasha Airline, for example, see there is one flight QP1736. What is the flight cost? 5,112. Now, if I go to this online website, Akasha Airlines, and here, if I now search for a flight, if I search for a flight that is from Bengaluru, right, to Mumbai, 17th Jan, right? Sorry, what was that? 17th Jan. And now when I click on search, you will observe, now, okay, the same flight details is given here. QP 1736 and the flight prices are same. So now understand, first question you need to answer is Make My Trip and Akasha Airlines same application or different? Different application. So this is our Make My Trip, and you guys said that there is one operating airlines called as Akasha Air. Akasha Airlines. You said they are different application, But now observe one thing. Moment I update the flight prices here, automatically that price will reflect in Make My Trip. You see, the prices will be same. Suppose this flight gets cancelled, the Akasha Airlines executive cancels the flight. Automatically in Make My Trip, the flight will be cancelled, like which happened recently, right? You notice with Indigo this happened. Now Indigo cancelled all the flights. So all the websites it was updated. The flights are cancelled. So how is this happening? That I make some changes in Akasha Airlines and those changes are reflected in Make My Trip. And if in Make My Trip, I book a ticket, then Akasha Airlines is getting the passenger details. How is this data flow happening? Though the applications are different, technologies are different, correct? They're running on different servers. How the data exchange is happening? So that is where an API comes in picture. The primary purpose of API is to exchange the data between two different applications. Now, the technology of this application would have been Java or must be they have developed using .NET. And let's say this application is developed using Java. So it really does not matter which programming language you're using here and here in order to exchange data. API gives you that beautiful concept to exchange the data from MMT to Akasha Air and Akasha Air to MMT back using a concept called as API. Did you understand the first advantage of API? Students, online students, please tell me. Did you understand this now? Which means your Make My Trip has an access to Akasha Airlines via API. So if I just update something in Akasha Airlines, those changes are reflected in Make My Trip. Okay. Now let's understand some more things. Do you make payments using Make My Trip? Online payments, UPI payments, credit card payments, debit card payments, which means I'm using a payment gateway. Now payment gateway is yet another software. Now another advantage of API is, let me ask you a simple question. You want to construct a house. So now when you want to construct the house, one option is you will manufacture bricks by yourself, which means you'll set up a factory to manufacture bricks. You will set up a factory to manufacture steel, set up a factory to manufacture cement. Sir, if I do like this, if I now come up with my own factory to construct my house and manufacture the things, the cost will shoot up. The house that I'm planning to construct now, that will be 1,000 times, not 1,000. It is like unbearably the cost will go very high. So usually what we will do, we'll pick ready-made things. Am I right? Bricks, you will find out a vendor. You will find out, okay, which company supplies bricks, quality is good. Take it. Then what you will do? Whoever is basically giving steel, I will take it from the supplier. Whoever gives the cement, I will take it from the supplier. This API does the same work. Now look at that. Let's say this Make My Trip has to send SMS. Now I have so many companies providing SMS service. I've got Airtel, I've got so many other companies. Now what basically Make My Trip does, Make My Trip now uses already the SMS services, let's say, which is given by Airtel. SMS service which is given by what? Airtel. Airtel already has a software using which SMS can be sent. I will just make My Trip integrate with that software. So it is like purchasing a ready-made SMS software available, integrating with your software, making your development faster. This is called as a third-party API integration. I want payment gateway. You will not sit and develop a payment gateway by yourself. There are so many payment gateways that can help you do online payments like Razorpay. Then we have, Stripe. We have PayPal. So what I will do is now I will simply identify the best payment gateway which charges less commission for online transaction, because every transaction I do, payment gateway takes some commission. So for example, I will go with Stripe. So to integrate Make My Trip with Stripe, again an API is required. I want to send WhatsApp messages. To integrate WhatsApp services, again this is possible using what? Using what? API. Correct? let's say now this make my trip is basically providing some other features, okay, like booking trains, again integrating all the trains scheduled by IRCTC, Indian Railways. Whenever they schedule the train, the details has to reflect here. This all things is possible only when you know API development. Are you understanding now? And if you don't know how to build an API, you can't even prepare the resume. Whichever requirement you open up online, you will definitely see one word: web services, RESTful, API development, developing API endpoints. See this here. If I just go online now, okay, to naukri.com, and let me just search here Spring Boot developer, right? We'll just search here Spring Boot, okay? So Spring Boot developer, okay? Now you will see one term which is very frequently going to be mentioned, okay? Going to be mentioned is going to be, right? See, now microservices means again API development becomes must and should here. Okay, see, read this term. You pick any requirement online, definitely you will see that's the trending topic which you should be really well versed with. What is it? Correct? Now, what you guys are doing, you're preparing a resume which is totally opposite of what they are asking. What you guys do is you just prepare one standard resume. I know Java, I've underwent training, apply, no reply. Now, why is this happening? I'm applying so much, I'm not getting interview calls. The major reason behind it is what you guys are doing, you're not studying what they want and you're not preparing your resume accordingly. You're simply taking one standard resume and sending it wherever there is a job opening. Got it? Pick any requirement. You just see this here. I'm picking up another requirement. Okay? So just see this here. Backend services. See here. You check one single requirement online. Okay, you will not get it. Okay, without the concept of what? API development. Did you understand why this is so important now? Now, what are the other usage of API? This is one usage. What are the other usage? Now see, I want to develop my backend such that I can integrate with any front end. Now backend is nothing but I already talked about Spring Boot, Hibernate, using Java programming languages, database coding, all that you're doing is backend. Now this backend coding that I'm talking about, that we are going to do, if you develop that using a concept of API, if you develop that using a concept of API, you know what is the advantage? Any front end technology can be integrated with that easily, like Netflix. How many people are accessing Netflix in browser? So now if I want a browser based front end to be developed, which technology will I use? Huh? For browser based application, which technology will you use? Probably I'll go with Angular example. Correct? Now Angular, okay, can integrate with this API, which means my backend code is not changing. After few days I decided my demand, customers demand is increasing, mobile phone users have increased. I want to integrate same backend code with an Android app. Now you need not change anything in backend. The same backend you can integrate with Android. Few days later I realized that lot of people are now using the same Netflix in TVs. So we need to be able to integrate that with TV apps. You see that you're able to access same backend code via multiple front-end technologies. Are you understanding now? Yes. Why we have to learn API and what's the reason behind it. And on top of these things, again, this all development that you do it, debugging is very, very core part. Okay. Now, let's proceed further now. Is this part clear? Online students, did you understand this part? What we have discussed about so far? That what is Spring Boot, Hibernate, Spring Security, API development, right? I've just given introduction to that. So without API development, you can't even be a developer. Okay. Now, the next thing we are going to learn why microservices is required. So this is again some requirements when I opened up online. Observe carefully. One word very commonly we will come across. Correct? You will come across one word very commonly. What is that? Microservices. And you see here again, if Kafka is there, means microservices has to be there. Correct? I'll discuss about Kafka as well, but you will definitely see somewhere, okay, see distributed systems, meaning that is again your microservices. Now what is microservices? Let's understand this here now. So let's understand this way. I'm developing make my trip application. Okay, so make my trip application has so many modules. Now one of the module is I can book flights. There is also another module in make my trip using which I can book what? Train. There's another module I can book what? Bus. I can also book here what? Hotel. Now imagine I develop this complete application as a single project. Okay, as a single project, which means complete code is written down in one place and is deployed on one single server. Okay, so I'm developing this application as a single project. Okay, now the problem here, what I am going to now face when I develop this as a single project is this complete project is running on one single server. Let's assume that now it is running on what? A single server. Now, people, whoever is accessing this particular application, okay, let's say there are some 5,000 people at a given time accessing flights module, and at the same time I have got now some 3,000 people booking train, and somewhere around, let me just put this here, and somewhere around I have got another, okay, 5,000 people booking bus. Can you tell me how many users are now accessing application on the server? 13,000 users. But all these 13,000 users load is on single server, right? So definitely what is happening here, because a complete load is on a single server, somewhere you're going to compromise, okay, with the performance of your application. Now the load slightly increases, more application will crash, right? So it is like one single person. If I just go ahead and what I will do now is on this single person, I will just go ahead and put some workload. Imagine I've hired one person and now this person, what am I doing? I'll tell pick the phone calls. Okay, he's doing it. Then after a few days, I notice, okay, I'm telling along with picking the phone calls now, you take students attendance. Okay, doing. Apart from that, do counseling, doing. Apart that, I will tell, okay, do office cleaning, doing. Then I'll tell, okay, you also ensure that all the vehicles parked in the basement is proper taken. The employee will crash and fall down, faint and fall down. Lot of mistakes employee will start doing it because I am putting load on the employee. That employee is not able to take that load. Am I right? So what I will do now instead what I will do now, I will hire one employee for one job. Okay, picking up the phone calls, one employee, counseling, one employee, cleaning, another employee. I'm splitting up the load. Yes or no? So efficiency will be better. Same way, in layman terms, understand when I'm talking about microservices, I'm going to now firstly break my bigger application into smaller projects. Like flight itself is one project, train ticket booking, another project, bus, another project, hotel, another project. And now what I will do is I will run this applications on separate server. This application running on server 1, this one server 2, this one server 3, and this one is going to be server 4. What is the advantage? Now 5,000 users who are accessing flight, the load is on which server? S1. Instead of putting all 13,000 users load on single server, I started splitting my load. Somewhere the performance of application will be better. And when you break your application in mini projects and do the work, the project execution is also going to be better. Correct, no? Now, let's say there are somewhere around 5,000 users booking bus. So that 5,000 users load is on bus. Another 3,000 users, they're booking train. So that load is only on which server now? Train. Are you understanding now? Okay. So this is what a microservices architecture is all about. In layman terms, very high level manner, I have explained this. In order to build such an application, online students, I hope you're getting this. In order to build such an application, we would require some concepts like Spring Cloud. So in order to build microservices application, we will be using Spring Cloud. Now what is Spring Cloud? Now Spring Cloud is like all that tools. Okay, Spring Cloud is like all that tools. Okay, without which microservices application cannot be developed. Like when you want to change a stepney, you want to change the stepney. Okay, you want to use a stepney and change the car tire. You can't do that if tools are not there. You require the right tools in your car. If you have the right tools in the car, then only you can do that. So Spring Boot provides us a concept called as Spring Cloud. And in that there are so many beautiful concepts using which you can build a beautiful microservices application. Example, example. Now we want to check whether my microservices application performance is good. Okay, is the performance good? So Spring Cloud gives us a feature called as admin server. Using admin server, we can track the performance of my application. How is it? Correct. Likewise, there are so many concepts given here. Using all of that concepts, we have to design our microservices architecture based application. Is this part clear? All of you, did you understand this part? Yes, observe here now. So in order to learn microservices, you people should have complete knowledge of what? Spring Boot. So we started our discussion with core Java. After core Java, we discussed why servlets, JDBC, something in high level manner, right? You might not have 100% clarity on that. Then we discussed about what Spring Boot does, what Hibernate does, what Spring Security does, and why you should learn API development. Correct? Then we discussed about Spring Cloud and microservices. So Spring Cloud will provide all that necessary technologies required to build a microservices based application. Got it? Like for example, in the reality, what will happen? Now all of these things will communicate with one payment gateway. Correct? It will communicate with what? One payment gateway. Now, if you notice, though they are all different projects, the payment gateway that these projects are using is same. They're different softwares now put together, but still they're using the same payment gateway. How do I do that? All these answers are present inside your Spring Cloud tech stack. Only your Spring Cloud can resolve such problems. Are you understanding, guys, now? Yes, everyone? Clear with this part? Okay. Now, let's continue further. Everybody now listen very carefully why Kafka is required. What's the purpose of Kafka now? So, in the online requirement, you will again come across this Kafka very highlighting way mentioned. If it is microservices, definitely somewhere Kafka will be there. Can you see that? How they are interlinked? Yeah. Now, if you just go here, okay, and it is microservices, so somewhere, okay, the recruiter would have mentioned Kafka. So there's unit testing and all. We'll talk about that. API development, microservices, Kafka will be there. Because whenever you're going with microservices application architecture, Kafka will play a major role. Can you see that here? And what they have written in front of that, read that. real-time data processing. Now, what is Kafka? Why we should learn Kafka? What's the purpose behind it? Tell me. Sir, I'm listening to this word only first time. Correct? I'm listening to this word only for the first time. I don't know what is this Kafka all about. So, we are going to discuss about what is Kafka, and before that we will understand what is asynchronous communication. Asynchronous communication, right? Now, there are two types of communications. One is called as, it's not inter-service communication, wrong Debashish, that's not the thing. Okay, but good that you answered something. Synchronous communication and asynchronous communication. Now, what is this synchronous? Now, synchronous communication is like, imagine I have A and B entity, right? Now, synchronous communication is person A is waiting for person B. And until and unless the person B does not come, you will not move ahead. Example, the company cab. Correct? Now, you're waiting for the company cab, waiting for the company cab, waiting for the company cab. When the cab comes, then only you will move ahead from there further. This is synchronous communication. Synchronous means your company cab has to come, you will enter the cab, then only you will move. Till then you're waiting. Correct? This is one thing, which means if you come, let's say you came at 6 o'clock, company cab has come at 6:45. How much time you waited? 45 minutes you waited. You could have saved that time. Correct? How you could have saved that time? Sir, why to travel only by company cab? I had a bus here, I had a metro here, I had auto, I have other cabs, right? I would not wait for my company cab. I will board the cab whichever I get it and I'll just go to the company, which is faster. You're not waiting. If it is a synchronous, you have to wait for your company cab, and when the company cab comes, then only you'll enter and then you will move ahead further. But if it is asynchronous, you will just get ready, come out 6 o'clock, you will see bus came, auto came, whatever came, you will enter, sit, and you will go, which is faster. Huh? So, synchronous problem is you're waiting for someone, and that wait will not get over until and unless that person comes. What is asynchronous? You're not waiting for anyone, right? You're not waiting for anyone. Okay, as you know, moment you get some vehicles or something, you get it, board, go. Or another way is this now. Okay, you can look at the old Hindi movies. Heroine is waiting for hero, hero is waiting for heroine. They're waiting for each other, and that wait never gets over. And 3 hours in the movie, same thing is going on. That was, the movies in 2000. Okay, 2000 era movies, you notice there was one movie, hero is searching the heroine continuously, heroine is searching hero. Hero's name will be Deepak, Anil Kapoor's brother, and he will become an auto driver, if I'm not wrong. And he becomes an auto driver because he thinks someday she will come and sit in her auto. And 3 hours audience are telling just miss, because so many times just miss will happen. But now this is synchronous. This is synchronous. Hero waiting for heroine, heroine waiting for hero. Wait is not getting over at all. Finally, rainy season, this hero will take out his shirt. Inside one t-shirt will be written down Deepak. Wait got over. Performance is good or bad. 3 hours they took to search each other. What about Salman Khan? He's asynchronous fellow. Yes or no? Right? He's asynchronous fellow. Are you understanding now? So this is the first thing you should understand. If in your software, everywhere if you go with synchronous communication, this will spoil the performance of your application. Let me tell you what does it mean. Now let's understand. I have a registration form, correct? Like the one we have it in our website. And upon registering, you are getting one WhatsApp message. Yeah, you're getting one WhatsApp message, and also you're getting one email, if I'm not wrong. Now, one way is this fellow will register, and During that registration is happening, okay, our register service has made a call to WhatsApp service. Now the WhatsApp service, what is it doing? It is sending message, sending message, sending message. And until unless the message is not sent, you're not getting a message here. Registration is successful. How will you feel? You entered your name, email ID, mobile number, clicked on submit. The data, now that data is taken and given to WhatsApp. Okay, it has been given to WhatsApp services who will send WhatsApp. Until unless you don't get that WhatsApp, you don't see a message, registration successful. You're waiting, 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 waiting. And imagine while sending WhatsApp, something went wrong and WhatsApp service is not working. You never got the WhatsApp message. And because of that, registration successful message is also not there. Now, what is the trouble here? The trouble is now the application is blocked. Okay. If I make the user wait for such a long time to display, your registration is successful. If I make the user wait for such a long time that your registration is successful, and at sometimes WhatsApp message not gone, but his registration was successful, he just did not get WhatsApp message, or he got WhatsApp message after 5 minutes because there was huge traffic. Correct? I registered and today WhatsApp server is busy or internet connectivity issue. Okay, in his mobile, internet connectivity issue. From laptop, he is registering. In mobile, internet off. He is not getting the WhatsApp message at all. Now, here, registration save message also not displayed in laptop. WhatsApp message also not displayed. Again, he tries to register and now he gets a message. Sorry, duplicate record. You cannot register with this mobile number. Now you're wondering, Arey, what happened? I entered mobile number, email, everything. Okay, after submitting, it is loading page from 5 minutes that is happening. And after 5 minutes, I don't even know registered or not. Again, when I register, it is telling you cannot register, duplicate email ID, duplicate mobile number. Synchronous communication. If it was asynchronous, I will register and I will just send the data to WhatsApp. I'll tell, okay, registered, send the data, and I'll not make the register page wait. Before even you get the WhatsApp message, I'll tell registration successful. Let the WhatsApp message come after 10 minutes. What's hurry in that? After 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, after 1 minute. Yes or no? Do you really want to wait for that WhatsApp message? If I do that, definitely there is an issue. There is a synchronous communication. Definitely performance issues will start. But now what I will do, I'll enter the details. After entering the details, immediately, moment you click on submit, registration successful. So what is happening? Our register module is not waiting for WhatsApp message to be sent. It is just taking the customer details and giving to WhatsApp service, and it is not waiting WhatsApp sent or not. It will tell registration successful, your data is saved in database. Now WhatsApp service will keep trying. If message not delivered, again after 2 minutes it will try to send. Not delivered, again after 2 minutes. Somewhere it will become successful and you'll get the message. Did you understand this part? Please tell me, online students. Yes, offline students. Did you understand this part? Yes. Did you understand what is synchronous and asynchronous communication? You cannot apply synchronous and asynchronous everywhere. Now payment gateway. I am placing an order. Payment has to be successful, then only order is placed. It should not happen. I place an order. Even before payment, I send the details. Payment is not successful, but still you got the message, order placed. Everywhere you cannot go with asynchronous. In your project, there is a part of the project where asynchronous communication should be used when there is no dependency between these two. And wherever there is a dependency, I go to e-commerce portal, I place an order, I make the payment. Only when payment is successful, I should get the message order is placed. So there we are waiting. You see, there is some wait happening actually. Have you noticed that? Yes or no? So everywhere it cannot be asynchronous. Both we have to use, but the module A should not be dependent on module B. Like after registration, okay, when you register, it's not that you should get an email, then only registration is done. No. Let the email go. Welcome email go late. But finish my registration first and tell the customer registration successful. Otherwise, he'll not keep the application open for a long time. He will just close the application and he'll dabba application and leave and go. Okay. This asynchronous communication To achieve, we will use Kafka. And how we will use Kafka? We will see that in my tomorrow's class. Okay, guys? Everybody got it now? Why they are telling you should know Kafka? So there is a reason behind it now, which I will be talking about it in my tomorrow's lecture, that why this is required and how Kafka can resolve this problem of synchronous communication will happen in the projects, but how to make asynchronous communication, for which we will use Kafka concepts here. One of the important reason for Kafka. Okay. So this is what we have discussed till here. Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss about Kafka. An introduction to that is being given. What is synchronous, asynchronous communication, to understand Kafka in a better way. Spring AI module is a part of the course. See, please understand, okay, very clearly, Sunil, whatever we are going to do it will be as per the industry standards. Don't worry about that. Is this clear? Whatever we will be doing it, don't worry about that one. Okay. Now see, lot of beginners are there. For them, they feel only data structure, data structure, data structure. They will never get placed. Right? So there are freshers, beginners where they feel that I have to only do some coding challenges, things like that, I'll get a job. They'll not get through because they're not understanding one simple science, what they want and what you have in resume. Is it matching or not? Okay. Now, what do you have it in your resume and their requirements? See, they're telling you should know Redis, you should know microservices, you should know, okay, DevOps, you should know Agile. Correct. We are never matching the requirement. So, how are you picking up the requirement then? You're just blindly picking that up. You're not analyzing it. And that's where what happens is you keep failing, you keep failing, you keep failing. Your resume is not selected. Even if you go till the final round, some other fellow will have more skills, they will reject your profile. This is the whole point here. Okay. That's why DevOps also will talk about that. That's all part of our course. There's all things that I'm going to discuss about. See, okay, there's all things. Now you're seeing somewhere Kubernetes, Jenkins, Redis. You're seeing that, no, in online requirement. That all I will discuss further. Okay, I've just discussed only day one of the syllabus. So syllabus discussion will go on for the next 3 to 4 days more to understand these things in a better way. Then you are in a position to at least, okay, not get fooled. If anybody says I'm teaching you full stack, you will at least know whether the syllabus given is right or wrong. Okay, otherwise 6.5 months syllabus, 5 months only Java, 1.5 month advanced class. How can you learn advanced classes in 1.5 months? Think about it. Okay, so there's a lot of things which we will discuss. Sir, why we should not go for data engineering course? See, no course is bad, but when it comes to placements, definitely we have to be careful because it all depends on the current requirements in the market. If there are no job openings, what you're learning, then you will not get interview calls. And see, development jobs are father of all jobs, which will always have a mass hiring in the market. Keep that in mind. Class has already been streaming live. Sir, I'm an electrical student, did not understand. See, I'm electrical student, did not see. In that case, Girish, don't join my course. I'm very clear on that. Because if you're not understanding what are we going to build here and the basics that I'm talking about right now, you're not able to catch that, then that's going to be tough for you. And that's a wrong admission for me. So you can attend the demo, analyze further. And if you're not able to understand only what I'm telling, then how can I help you to get job? And if you're not serious about learning job, you please board of the class. You don't even sit in my class. I'll not take your admission. Are you understanding? Whatever work you do, you have to be serious. Don't do with half mind. If you're doing with half mind, don't do classes only. Best solution. You're wasting another 26,000 of fees then. Okay? You're wasting your fees, you're wasting your time because you're half-minded. Your mind is somewhere else and you're doing something else. Okay? So be careful about it. Girish, you need to analyze further. If you're not able to follow, see, now so many people are telling, I understood, I understood, I understood. Could be for some people, this is not a cup of coffee. How much ever I try to simplify, they cannot learn. So it's better we get away from such courses. That's why we give time for students to analyze whether to join or not. Is this clear? And some people here would have done half learning. They are very tough because they have already spoiled their mind and they can never be a learner. So better don't join at all. If you come here, you have to come here with full, attentive mind and build a clear roadmap during your syllabus classes that what I need to achieve at the end. Okay? When half knowledge is there, that becomes dangerous knowledge. Now you will have some people in the WhatsApp group with half knowledge. They will keep chatting. Then if you have so much of knowledge, why are you in my WhatsApp group? Join the company. Simple answer. Yes or no? Why are you sitting in the class? You go crack the interview, get a job, get placed. Right? You're not able to get a job. First, you have to accept the fact because your skills are not matching to what company wants. And if you don't face that genuinely, okay, upskilling yourself, then again same stories will start, because you know some half of the things and you believe something on YouTube, half of the things you would have studied here and there, something on Udemy, half of the things here and there, and then after that you start feeling, oh, I know everything. Then in that case you should be in the company, not in my classroom. Am I right? Correct? So attentive mind, genuine learners, and nobody will be forced here to join my class. The culture in my class is joining by yourself with interest. I will not send a message to anyone telling pay the fees. People will join by themselves when they are interested. Okay? Yeah. And if I find any disinterested candidate in the classroom, I'll directly send them out. I will not take their admission. Trust me, I will do that because losing that one fees will not matter much to me at this point of time. Okay, I'm well settled. So this is not my beginning journey of my life. Okay, are you understanding? But whatever now at this phase, the job I'm doing it, let me do it genuinely, whatever I can do it. And who's not interested, don't even join, or I will not make them join. In fact, I'm saving your 26,000 and I have enough settled in my life. Even if I retire today, I can lead a very comfortable, lavish life. Yes. Okay. So I have a very good rental incomes and more in pipeline. Okay. So worry about yourself. I'm serious, though I'm settled. You're not settled in your life, so how serious you should be? Huh? More serious. If you are not attentive, you sit in the class, you're sleeping. Am I losing anything? I'm not going to lose anything. You will lose. You're not practicing daily. You will lose. Now you will not come and question me also after the placement starts, because I will directly give you Excel. So there, place students, go call. How they got job, verify. Why you are not getting job? So let's be serious. It's a very serious journey, guys. Make sense? हाँ ना. हाँ, 6.5 महीना. You have to be like focused in one direction. Your thinking should not be like amoeba. मतलब कभी लेफ्ट कभी राइट कभी सीधा कभी उल्टा पलटा हर एक डायरेक्शन में ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, आपकी जॉब नहीं लगती. Only one direction. When you travel with full dedication, you be successful in terms of getting job. Like MS Dhoni, he wanted to be cricketer, 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 बन गया. विराट कोहली क्रिकेटर क्रिकेटर बन गया. आप भी अभी तक बहुत वन डायरेक्शन में ट्रैवल किया. आई हैव टू बी अनएम्प्लॉयड, आई हैव टू बी अनएम्प्लॉयड, बन गए. Right? Now you have to travel in the direction, the roadmap which helps us to get placed. And during that traveling in that roadmap, don't think of I will go for government exams. Yes, I see the students coming to me, I'll go for government exams. Some other fellow now suddenly is doing this, I will do MS. Now, firstly, he will take another 20 lakhs of loan to do MS. After 20 lakhs of loan, again unemployed. Then another fellow will now suddenly, while doing this course, suddenly he will now deviate, he will think I will do something else. Course gone. Are you understanding? So somehow finish the course. This is your first target. 6.5 months course if you finish, no, somehow at the end when interview starts, 5 interviews, 10 interviews, 15, 20, you will fail. But then you will start picking up gradually. Okay, so that consistency is a challenge. Okay, and being with the right person is very important. You know, when one person yawns, the next person automatically yawns. Correct? It is like this. When one person in the group is not studying, nobody will study. So be with the group who's studying, who's here to get job. 6-7 hours in a day you have to give for studies. Are you ready for that? हाँ, सेकेंड क्लास में यस नहीं आ रहा आपके मुंह से, 6:30 क्या करोगे? राइट? Very highly attentive, dedication. Okay, communication problem improve, technical problem improve, and I will not speak this extras again in my class. My class, point to point, I take lecture to lecture, my job done. I will not spend my energy into these things. Today I'm speaking, this is the last day I'm speaking extras, because first syllabus class, proper notes, proper attendance, not missing any classes. Okay, practicing this routine you have to build. This is expected from my students, because all the students come here are not through some social media marketing. All students have come here is because some friends of yours has forced you to come here. Am I right or wrong? Correct, no? Someone has forced you, तुम वहां चले जाओ बस classes कर लो. Someone has forced. That's why you traveled here to Bangalore. Why you did not had classes in Noida? You did not had classes, computer classes in, you know, some other places. Correct. Everywhere are there. Somebody has forced you. And in case if you're not serious, आप क्लास में बैठो मत. कल का दिन सीरियसनेस बहुत ज्यादा दिखना चाहिए. अटेंटिव फॉर 1 hour एंड नो कॉमेडी. राइट? आप सैलरी ले लो, अच्छा पैकेज, फिर लाइफ भर कॉमेडी करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अभी आप कॉमेडी नहीं कर सकते हो. ओके, नो डाइवर्शन. बहुत सीरियस जन, बहुत मेहनत डालना है, बहुत हद से ज्यादा. और नो शॉर्टकट्स. सर मैं 3 महीने में जॉब अप्लाई करना चालू कर दूंगा, then you will end up spending another 2 years to get job. Okay, best of luck. कल से आगे का syllabus, जब core java when I start, definitely will start enjoying it. Hey, share one link today. This guy share one link, WhatsApp link. Sir, I'm working in MNC 3+ years of experience, working support project, want to upskill, want to switch to DevOps. Shall I? Yes, definitely yes, why not? Both you learn. Only DevOps is not good. DevOps with backend. Share WhatsApp, group link here. One person wants to join. See, share the link. Otherwise, he'll not get the updates. Sir told something about years gap. How it will manage? See, don't worry about the gap and all. Okay, don't worry about that. There's so many consultancies that take care of it. You don't require me. Personally, you require me to train you in the best manner. Are you understanding, guys? Okay. Please share that WhatsApp link. That's what I'm telling you. If you share the link, I'll put it in the WhatsApp group. One person put the WhatsApp group link cover. अपना WhatsApp का group link है ना, यहाँ पे डालो थोड़ा, and then I'll wind up the class, because some students want that link they're telling. Okay, let me only do it. Let's see. कर दिया. Which one is that? I don't know whether. Okay, some person has shared it. Yeah, done. This is the link. Join here. That's it. Sir, I'm working in MNC, but support project I'm working. Can I switch to technical? 100%, Akash. Don't worry. So tomorrow is Saturday. Saturday tomorrow? Holiday time. I don't work on Saturdays and Sunday. Again, next class on Monday. Okay? मैं मेरा सैटरडे संडे किसी को नहीं देता. Even we will get time to gain energy, come back freshly on Monday. So tomorrow is holiday then. Saturday, Sunday holiday. Next class directly on Monday. Okay, we'll cover the syllabus. Don't worry. 6.5 months, very nicely, slowly we will cover everything. Zero writing class it will be. Matlab, we will not waste time dictating notes like beginners here. Notes are ready. I'll keep taking only practical lectures, then I'll give you notes, which is soft copy. Okay, fine. Right. So thank you, sir. Bye bye. I'm not IT background. Join this course. Yes, why not? Sir, right now, can I talk to you personally? Not now. I will talk to you bit later. I have another batch actually after this. After that, you can connect with me. Probably 7:45 or something. Before 8 o'clock, try to call. I'll connect with you. Sir, can I also get November 15th batch lectures because I have less time to prepare for college placements? Don't do that. I'll give you, but don't do that. Okay.